Hi guys, welcome back to Scofield Farm. I'm doing more cleaning up my garden beds today. Super overwhelming, definitely have to take it in stages. I've got a hurt shoulder. Even if I didn't, it's quite a mess. I want to show you what I'm doing and just kind of give you a perspective of how we personally change our garden beds over without taking everything out and starting from scratch. How we slowly move the seasons in each bed, and we allow the leftover summer things like these crazy tomatoes to actually finish ripening their fruit. Now I'm showing you this bed after I've already done quite a bit of work. I have pulled up these tomatoes that were laying down in the bed on top of the chives and the leeks and the alyssum. And I'm trying to basically make room down below for me to be able to plant my lettuce in this bed, basically underneath the tomatoes. Once the tomatoes have finished for the season, our first frost is usually the middle of November. I will cut the tomatoes at the base, like right here at the soil line, and then the lettuce and the leeks that are in the bed will have more room to take over the bed for the winter time. Now I greatly pruned back this Thai basil. It was wild and crazy, just like that Tulsi basil over there where you can see all the bees, the blooms, the tomatoes on top of it. This zinnia is kind of done for. I had the girls make a bouquet out of it. And you know, I'm actually debating just taking it out. We have a lot of other zinnia. There are a couple about to bloom on it, so I might see, even if I could keep it in for a few more days. I just really want to plant my lettuce, and my lettuce is very large in cups. I will show you that. It is definitely outgrowing the cups, and so I need to make room. But I might have enough room cleared up here without taking that out. It just depends on how much I can pull up all of the crazy tomatoes that I have, and how much I can actually plant around the leeks, because some of the leeks have actually gotten really large. I don't know if you can see that, but the bees love the blooming basils. They love it. This is a reason why you leave your herbs to bloom in the garden. And don't cut all of them back, because all those flowers attract all my bees. They're super happy. I can't tell how much it's showing, but I probably can see right now about 6 different bees just at one time. There might be more around here too on this basil plant. There's a lot of them, and they're loving it. Now when I start planting my lettuce, I will actually space them in here only about 4 inches apart, maybe 4 to 6 inches apart. I like them to get kind of close and be close neighbors that grow into each other. And then we will either harvest from the outside leaves of our lettuce, or sometimes they will cut out an entire head. It just depends. But that is my plan, so I can actually fit a lot of lettuce in here. I need to check my lettuce cups and see how many I have promised to local friends and gardeners who are buying them this week, and how many I have saved for myself, because my numbers have kind of shifted and I lost track of the exact number. One cool thing I noticed since I've been out here is the Jamaican Roselle hibiscus is starting to get the little buds for the flowers, and it's actually the, I always say the word wrong. I think it's the calic. I'll look that up for you. On the end of the flower that you harvest and dry as the tea, but they are they're actually getting very close. You can see right there, they're getting close to blooming. This thing is going to be packed. Another reason I should pull back, cut back these enormous overgrown tomatoes, cherry tomatoes. I definitely want to give time to ripen though, because there are literally probably well over 1,000 tomatoes right in here. There's just so many. I've got to carefully untangle these because I let them tomatoes get a little too jungly, so I have to really carefully, delicately untangle them from each other, or I'm gonna lose all my tomatoes. Tomatoes that became one with the basil. I'm not really sure what to do about this one. It's so tangled I might lose all the little tomatoes on it, just to try to take it, to make it separate. It's kind of a nightmare right here. Not even sure how to best do this one. They are very enmeshed. Perfect word for it. Okay, I've been working a lot trying to tie this stuff up, and I just want to talk a second about working in the garden when you have an injury or disability, something that holds you back from doing it all the way. I have a shoulder issue trying to get resolved, but in reality it affects me and my gardening. And so my advice is, if you have something like that physically affecting your gardening, to take breaks. Take lots of breaks, frequent breaks. Listen to your body, which I'm trying to do right now. I feel so motivated to get this bed cleaned up and looking better, and it does look a lot better, but I also need to listen to my body and know when it's time to say, hey, come back later, come back and do this later. I know that I'm not able to actually plant the lettuce today, and I've already, decided that. I may need to actually decide it's not time to finish amending this bed, pruning, cleaning up this bed today either. Because if you overdo it when you have some sort of injury or physical limitation, you're actually going to set yourself further back in your gardening, in your growing food, in your homesteading process, by making the physical limitation worse, by injuring it, by flaring it up. So I'm trying to really take an honest look at how much I've gotten done today and how much I have left to get done, and know when to say, I just need to stop for a second, because this kind of lifestyle is supposed to be sustainable. It's supposed to be something that can be done over the long haul, not just, a quick sprint. It's more like a marathon. So in my marathon, it means I may have to get things planted slower, take longer, and I'm still going to get more food than if I overdo it and quit. So there's my word of advice for that. Also, I know that some of you are in zones like I am, where you could get a harvest from your garden year round, and that is super motivating. It's super motivating to eat seasonally and to not have to rely as heavily on the grocery store, not even rely as heavily on canning. I am expanding my canning. I am super motivated to can, but the fact that I could grow lettuce and brassicas and peas and different things over the winter that we can eat fresh is super motivating and invigorating to do the hard work when it is like an exhausting time of year, the fall, where you already have all your harvests, you have all the back to school stuff, you have so much prep for winter on a homestead and family farm, that I need that little kick of motivation. That fresh food from the garden is going to be so worth it. It's going to be so worth it to not buy salad stuff at the grocery store, because we will have our own salad bar in our garden to harvest from. And harvesting year round is so motivating. It really makes the hard work feel worth it. And all of these green tomatoes, and knowing that they will someday be ripe tomatoes, makes tying everything up and not just cutting it out also feel super worth it. This is a bumper crop, guys. This is exactly what I need at the end of our season. So I got this back area. This is like the north side of this bed. It is the shadier side. I got that mostly cleaned up. I feel like I need to cut back the basil on the other side to really get some sunlight back here and maybe prune some of the leaves on the tomato plants. But there is a good amount of room once I put in our top layer of fresh soil. There's a lot of room to plant lettuce. Right here I have a bunch of tomatoes that I knocked off. They will ripen on the counter. I have trimmings, some parts that are clean, some parts that are not clean, but this is where we're gonna leave it today. I am going to listen to my body. I am going to do the smart thing for the long run. And I will see you very soon because I have to finish this fall cleanup sometime, and I'd love to have you join me. I'd love to show you how I am gonna plant the lettuce underneath these cherry tomatoes in a later video, because I don't know if my method is unique to me, but it is something I've been doing for years very successfully to maximize garden space, to maximize our harvest year round. And I really do think it's worth considering if you're someplace that can do succession sowing, that can do different seasons of gardens, it's worth considering not ripping out your whole garden to plant your new things, but to do things slowly and let things run their natural course. I'll see you soon. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me. And this fall cleanup will get done.